the Apopka Studios in Oklahoma City. This is a Cable Motors OU update with Travis Haney. I'm Jenni Carlson. Travis, obviously a lot of expectations on the Sooners. #1 ranking in pretty much every poll I've seen. Expectations high. Have these guys managed that pretty well in the preseason?
It seems like it. ESPN's been here. There's been a lot of attention even beyond just the polls. And the polls are something you've seen players dismiss, coaches dismiss and say, it's not a big deal. It's not where you start in August. It's where you are in January. But when ESPN shows up too and puts a lot of cameras in their face and players are getting maybe a lot more attention in August than they normally would, you're curious to see how they handle that. And I even had someone suggest to me on Twitter this past week that maybe complacency follows that. And maybe that happened last year at Alabama with a 3-loss team. That team also went into the season as a favorite to win the national title again. But that's the difference to me, is that Tide team was coming off of a national championship. This is one that hasn't won a title in a decade. And I think there's a certain hunger in Norman, there's a certain hunger in Stoops and the players that I don't think you would find with a team that won one last year. So I don't think that just because ESPN is here necessarily means anything in terms of entitlement or feeling like they've arrived. I still think there's a hunger there. I think you see the players, you hear them. Broyles comes back for his senior year. Landry Jones, maybe his last go-around. Travis Lewis, when he gets healthy, his last go-around. There's players here that really seem to want to win.
Do you think you talk about guys like Broyles, Jones, Lewis, veteran guys.
Sure.
Does managing expectations come back to veterans like that?
I think it's a formula. It's a combination of the coaches and how they handle it and sort of setting the tone on down to the players, but certainly the veterans. And if you have leaders like those guys and every bit beyond those guys too, the older players, even younger players who act like veterans. It's all about the tone set by the leaders on the team from seniors on down to freshmen. I'm curious. I want to see how they handle it because we can say it seems like they're handling it okay, but we've got to see a game. We've got to see a Tulsa. We've got to see them go on the road to Florida State, Missouri, come here. We'll know by the end of September what kind of team this is.
All right. Thanks, Travis. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.